Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's explainer. We're going to be looking at how to take a chaotic, heavily manual vending business and transform it into a highly efficient, streamlined operation. If you've ever felt those growing pains of scaling up a vending route, you know exactly how overwhelming it can get, right? So today, we're unpacking a really slick, tech-enabled blueprint for mastering multiple machines, using direct insights from industry experts.
So let's start with the big question right out of the gate. How on earth do you monitor several machines without doing constant, exhausting manual checks? Well, I want you to picture this. You're driving completely blindly across town in the middle of rush hour traffic. You're burning gas, you're literally wasting your entire afternoon, only to finally pull up and find out the machine you're visiting is already fully stocked. Or honestly, even worse, it's completely empty, or maybe the payment reader expired in 3 days and you had absolutely no idea. That is a massive operational blind spot. It's just a painful, frustrating reality for operators who are still relying on guesswork instead of arguing.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to move logically from diagnosing the problem to a concrete daily how-to routine. We'll hit 1. The challenge, 2. The tech advantage, 3. Smart inventory, 4. Reviewing sales, 5. Machine health, and finally, 6. The monitoring routine. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the Vending Management Challenge. We all know the growing pains of scaling up, because as your locations multiply, lacking an organized monitoring system just leads to wasted time and major blind spots. Think about it. As you get more locations, you simply cannot be everywhere at once. The old way of doing things relied entirely on manual checks. You physically had to visit sites just to see what was happening. It's incredibly slow, it drags out your day, drives up costs, and just eats into your schedule. But then compare that to remote monitoring. This is where you get quick, snappy efficiency. Real-time updates tell you exactly what's going on without you ever having to leave your desk. The difference in operational speed, it is literally night and day. Moving right along to Section 2, the tech advantage. This is all about centralizing your operation and fixing those blind spots for good. And this brilliantly illustrates the solution. By bringing in smart technology, you basically gain a centralized command hub. Think of connected machines as your very own eyes and ears out on the ground. These are devices sending you real-time updates about sales, inventory levels, product availability, and technical problems, all completely remotely. You're replacing manual, tedious labor with instant information. This means you can take action and catch those tiny little issues before they snowball into massive, costly headaches. You respond way faster, and honestly, you save a tremendous amount of time. Okay, Section 3, Smart Inventory Tracking. Let's talk about eliminating the empty selection and leveraging data to keep your popular stuff in stock. When you actually break down your inventory status into fast sellers, slow movers, and empty slots, it completely flips how you handle restocking. By tracking exactly which products are flying out of the machine and which ones are just sitting there collecting dust because, let's face it, nobody wants the stale licorice, you can plan highly efficient trips. You're not just loading up a truck and crossing your fingers. You know exactly what each specific location needs before you start the ignition, which drastically lowers the risk of an empty slot and cuts out so much unnecessary travel. Next up is Section 4, reviewing sales data to understand location performance. And guys, this ties directly back to your bottom line. So pivoting from inventory to actual sales data, comparing categories like beverages versus snacks is really the ultimate tool for understanding a specific location's vibe. For instance, a machine sitting in a gym might see this massive, undeniable demand for sports drinks, right? While an office break room down the street just absolutely thrives on salty snacks. Regular sales reviews reveal these shifting customer preferences. It shows you exactly what's working so you can make smarter decisions and really boost that overall machine performance. Now on to Section 5, monitoring machine performance. We're shifting from the snacks inside to keeping the actual hardware healthy. Because look, having the perfect mix of snacks doesn't mean a thing if the machine refuses to dispense them. There are 3 critical hardware alerts you absolutely have to monitor: payment problems, temperature changes, and machine errors. If a card reader suddenly goes down or the refrigeration just randomly fails, you need to know about it instantly. Monitoring these 3 specific alerts allows you to jump in and investigate before your customers are affected for any extended period. Because every single hour a machine sits broken, that's an hour of lost revenue you are never getting back. Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 6, a simple monitoring routine. This is the actionable climax, your daily action plan. We've gathered all this great data, but now we need to put it into a consistent daily routine. It's a simple 4-step blueprint. Step 1, review your sales and inventory information regularly. Make it a habit. Step 2, check in on machines showing unusual activity or exceptionally low stock. Step 3, prioritize your service and restocking visits. Go where you're actually needed most, not just where it's convenient. And finally, step 4, keep detailed records of repairs and any recurring problems. Actually, scratch that. I want to emphasize that last one. Keeping clear records is literally the secret to spotting patterns and improving your future maintenance decisions. As your fleet grows, sticking to this practical system guarantees reliable service across the board.
And that brings us to our final essential takeaway today. Organized systems save you time and they save you money. Managing multiple vending machines simply doesn't have to mean constant, exhausting manual checks. By combining smart tech, inventory tracking, and solid sales reports, you can streamline the whole shebang. So, I really want to leave you with this thought to mull over. What does your current monitoring routine look like? Are you still out there driving blindly, or are you finally ready to let the data guide your route? Thanks so much for hanging out with me on today's Explainer, and hey, here's to working smarter, not harder.